But at the moment, we're going to be doing this tier list for season 2. Yeah, we're starting with the new weapon. If you guys do not know, the 93R is the newest weapon for light, and it is a burst pistol, kind of similar to the V9S. I definitely think these guns are pretty similar, and I would put them in the same tier. They're either average or above average. Honestly, I don't know if it should go into the above average category. Honestly, it might be above average because compared to the weapons that are going to be in top tier, I think these weapons are not that far from it. What do you guys think? 93 below average? Wow, you think the 93R is below average? So maybe I should just put an average because I think the V9S is better. So maybe I'm going to put the V9S in above average and this one in just normally average. V9S has more range. I really like the V9S. If you guys haven't seen that like ray gun skin, probably one of my favorite skins now in this game. For me personally, I do think the V9S is better than the 93R. So probably just going to keep it like this. All right, we're going to move on over to the most used weapons on light. In my opinion, the LH1 XP are definitely both top tier. The LH1 has crazy range. No, I don't think it has damage fall off. And you can literally just like, what, 2-tap lights with a headshot. It just has a crazy time to kill. I think this has the best time to kill in the game now. The shotgun on heavy got nerfed, so it's not as good. But LH1 has stayed powerful in this meta. And the XP54 is just so versatile. Even though it like sometimes it feels like a pebble shooter from range. But you can do damage from range and also close range get in the action. Yeah, LH1 is very, very good. I know you guys like the LH1. I've been using the LH1 a lot more recently as well. Yeah, we're going to be keeping those two weapons there. That's very, very obvious that those two weapons are top tier guns. I thought M11 has high CPS. Does it actually? I don't think the M11 is as good. This gun is more for like hip firing. I'm pretty sure it has like a really good hip fire accuracy. MP5 feels bad now. I prefer the V9S over the MP5. That's a crazy take. V9S, it is pretty good, but ever since they nerfed it from the open beta to season 1 launch, it just hasn't hit the same. I still think it's a viable weapon though. You could get kills with it. But if you're playing against a light that's using the LH1 or the XP, you'll definitely get outgunned basically. And we're gonna be going to the next weapon. So yeah, M11 I would put it in above average. It's definitely not average. They buffed it to where I'm pretty sure it does like 1 extra bullet damage per bullet in the 40 round mech. This changes things for me. I have to rethink my loadouts. Yeah, this is my opinion from like obviously playing against all the best players in the game. I picked at number 3 this season. For the first like 4 days, I probably had like 50 hours played. So obviously I was nerding out and I was grinding. Sword gotta be top tier. Okay, we're gonna have a pretty crazy. I'm gonna leave the sword for last honestly because I've seen a lot of people go crazy with the sword and a lot of people are trying to make it work. Next, we're just gonna go to the double barrel shotgun. So we know the double barrel was very, very powerful in season 1, but ever since they nerfed it, I just have barely seen this gun used at all. So this gun's probably gonna go in average also with the 93R. If you get close enough, you can still 2-tap, but I just don't think this gun is as good as it was before. Before, every light was running around with the double barrel, targeting the heavies, you just get like 2-tapped. But now, I barely see anyone run the double barrel. Honestly, it also depends. Like some of these weapons get better depending on the compositions you're playing against, and some weapons are better for shooting shields also. So you just gotta take that into consideration when you're choosing your loadouts in specific games. Okay, so we're gonna move over to the melees now. Or actually, we'll just do the sniper next. Someone who really loves the sniper. I'm trying to get a really good sniper gameplay. So I think the sniper is definitely an average or above average. Definitely in that game mode, I'd say it's above average. We see so many snipers in the power shift game mode. I'm probably gonna put it in above average, but it's definitely below these two guns. I think the sniper just needs, you gotta be very careful with it though, because if you buff it in any type of way, I feel like it could get very annoying, especially for like mediums or lights running around the maps. Next, we're gonna do the dagger. So the dagger and the throwing knives, these weapons are very hard to get value out of because on light, you just die so quick and you gotta be very close range with this weapon. These two are not as good as the sword. The dagger, I think you can get 1-tap if you backstab them. I'm just gonna put these both in average. Maybe the throwing knives go below average, but I have not tried the throwing knife since the buff. You guys do not know, I'm pretty sure they increased the projectile speed of the throwing knives, but was that enough for the throwing knives? I think if they really want the throwing knives to be good, I know there's like a charge ability with them. They need to make that like faster, like the wind up time definitely needs to be faster. But them buffing the projectile speed is in the right direction to make them viable, but I still just don't think these weapons are that viable. Throwing knives, I wish the right click was way better than I use it. Yeah, if the right click was better, it would be very good, in my opinion. It's kind of similar, like, when I first saw the throwing knives, I thought they were going to be like Genji from Overwatch. And I honestly expected these weapons to be, like, broken for, like, Season 1 launch. This is the only weapon introduced from the beta to Season 1, and they were just not good at all. Alright, so we're going to be on the sword next. I've played with a lot of sword players, and they actually can make this thing work. It's really good when you pair it up with the dash ability. Also, the sword, if you right click, has its own dash. I definitely think this thing is above average. I'd say using a sword is better than using these three guns. Am I correct with that or no? I think if you have this playstyle, like only certain people, like the way your mind work, can like run the sword. Me personally, I'm just not a melee player in any game, but I definitely don't think it deserves being average because I've died to the sword a lot. But I think this is a good tier list for what it's worth. All right, we're gonna go over to medium. In my opinion, medium just feels pretty bad this season compared to light. Light got the gateway gadget also, which makes light a little more viable now. But for medium, they brought the FAMAS, which is the newest weapon, the newest edition, and I just don't think this weapon is as good. The AK and the Scar might be better, and I definitely think the Mono is better than the FAMAS. So since this new weapon, we're gonna tier this first. I'm thinking it could go above average or just top of average. It's either the bottom of above average or high average, in my opinion. Average FAMAS, I think the FAMAS is average. The thing is, what could make this gun good is if they improve the time in between bursts or just the damage of the gun, because one of those has to change for this weapon to be viable. Either the time between bursts, make it faster fire rate, or just make every burst just do more damage. So like, you know, you gotta hit your shots. It's more important. AK above average. So I'd say the AK is definitely above average. It's better than the FAMAS, but at the same time, there's a lot more weapons better than the AK. I feel like medium as a class, you kind of just see everyone run the FCAR. Still very, very powerful. I'd say is the best weapon that medium has to offer. And then the mono right next to it. If you are not a mono believer, you should definitely try it out. It's very good accompanied with your heavy. If you're pushing, doing these like dome shield fights, as heavy is very, very prevalent in the meta. And it's also good for taking out heavies. Mono is very good. Revolver, I have no clue. So revolver, honestly for the revolver, I think we could probably put this, I'd say it's better than FAMAS. But you have to hit your shots. But at the same time, we're doing this tier list thinking of everyone, the entire population, on how they would use it. So maybe the revolver will go in average also, because I don't see that many people utilize the revolver to its potential. The grenade launcher, if you guys do not know, I'm pretty sure at the end of season 1, there was a bug to where grenade launcher, the bullets can actually penetrate shields, and it was super broken. But I think they fixed that bug. I'd say this gun is probably above average, probably over the revolver or under the revolver. Because some people can make it good. Honestly, I don't think anything's below average on medium. I've seen a lot of people use the shield pretty good too, but it's definitely the worst. Looking at this list, maybe one could get bumped up to above average. Is it true that one skin makes it better? Oh, so you're talking about the skin on the mono. I actually do have that skin. It is pretty good. It has a different animation, so it just looks different when you're shooting. I think this game, maybe they'll add like pay to win iron sights and stuff in the future with certain skins, but at the moment, I don't think there really is that many. Grenade launcher is above average if used the right way. I'm pretty sure also with the grenade launcher, if you hit 4 shots on a wall, it could actually destroy one of the walls, or is it 8 shots? But I don't think the grenade launcher, it's just not as versatile. And then also, if a team has the APS, it just fully counters you. For that reason alone, I'm going to put an average because the APS just directly counters it. So yeah, I think this is pretty good tier list for medium. All right, moving over to heavy. The newest addition to the weapon selection is the KS-23. So we're gonna start with this gun. So it's a pump shotgun. It only has 4 bullets. The time in between shots is pretty slow. And if you guys do not know, this gun is projectile based. So when you shoot it, it takes time to travel to the target. I think this gun, before it dropped, I was assuming this gun was gonna be very broken, just based off of how good the SA-12-16 is. But this gun really is not that good, and it's kind of hard to utilize, especially in a game that has so much movement abilities. I'm probably going to put the KS-23 in average. It's probably going to be average. I don't think you can make an argument for it to be above average, honestly. But this gun is definitely not that good. But heavy's weapons right now in this meta are kind of scarce, or I don't necessarily know what to use. And I'm kind of trying to get away from heavy. But the SA-12-16 did just receive a nerf. And honestly, I didn't think the nerf was going to be that sufficient. But it seems like the SA-12-16 is now kind of getting out of the meta. This is for the first time and since what? I don't remember when this skin first got like buffed, but I've been using this gun ever since open beta in October. And it's just been very, very strong. And now they finally nerfed it. And I don't know if it's top tier. I mean, for the weapons in heavy, I'd say it is top tier. But I've been seeing heavy mains use so many different things. The M60 has been getting into play. I've seen the Lewis gun into play, but they also have nerfed the Lewis gun recently. Now it has a lot more horizontal recoil. So if you're not one of the greatest players that can control it, it might be a little hard for you. So I definitely still think the Lewis gun is better than the M60. But I need you guys' opinions on this, definitely. KS-23 below average? Wow, you would put it below average. I don't think you can go below average, to be honest. I think I'm probably going to put the MGL in below average, just because this is another weapon that the APS just directly counters. What's different from this gun and the medium grenade launcher is this one has like a little fuse timer. It's not direct impact, so it's even harder for you to use. I definitely think the sledgehammer is better than the KS-23. I think the sword is probably the best melee in the game just because of the dash ability. But the sledgehammer, I don't know if you could put the sledgehammer above. I'd say the sledgehammer is better than the KS-23. I don't think this gun is really good at all. Every time I use it, it's just very hard to get value out of it. And I'm probably going to put the flamethrower also in average because the flamethrower, It does have a really unique ability. It counters gas. So if you have gas anywhere around, if you just use a flamethrower or any fire abilities like the pyro mine or the pyro nade, it actually will get rid of the gas. Guru Sledge tech is actually good. Oh wow, you're actually bringing up a good point because there is one player in ranked. If you guys have ever met him, Goo and Sledge is his name, and he runs around, goo guns you, and then hits you with the sledgehammer. It's definitely a pretty good combo. But I think keeping the sledgehammer in average is probably the best because it just does not compare to these weapons in the grand scheme of things. Honestly, I don't even know if I could put the SA-1216 in top tier. I mean, it's still pretty good, but like I think all three of these weapons are like pretty similar. I think the Lewis gun might still be top tier above it, and the M60 just an above average. But yeah, it's kind of underwhelming, the new weapon. I know this is like a very big controversy with like games. Whenever a new weapon is released, they're always super broken, so the devs can, promote their new weapons, and everyone, has hype around it and wants to use it. But this game is doing the complete opposite. So I'm gonna keep this in average. I think this is probably the best tier list for this gun. These guns are still in top tier, but I'm assuming the meta for heavy is gonna change also in the future a little more. Keep in mind the devs are saying that they're gonna update the game every week. So Wednesday we're gonna get another update. So what do you guys think will be changed? Let me know in the comment section. All right, I think this is good for heavy, and that's the end of this video. These are all the weapons in the game. Hopefully they buff the new weapons, the 3 new weapons that got added in season 2, because we would love to use them and love for them to be viable.